talking with attorney Jim Higgins about cases involving the drug Pradaxa. Jim recently stopped by our studio to tell us what's been going on. Jim, thanks for being here.
Sure.
So I understand that cases involving the drug Pradaxa have really been on the rise, not just in your office, but around the country. So what's going on here?
Well, they have. That drug's been out for a couple of years now. There's still a lot of debate on potential problems with it. The potential problems that we're seeing are it can cause a bleeding, or people to have a bleed and ultimately result in someone dying. The FDA says that they've reported about 540 deaths that they've linked to Pradaxa, and about 3,000 or 4,000 injuries, I think. And we've seen more in our office. There are risks to any drugs, and you know, that's really what this litigation is about. Are these risks? Was there proper warning about the risk of Pradaxa? Is it an acceptable risk? And that's what happens in any of these cases we take that involves what we believe may be a defective drug.
Okay.
And that's where they are right now. There's been a lot more cases filed, and they've been consolidated, which is what happens when there's a lot of cases filed in the country, and they're starting to move forward.
Right. So will the FDA recall this drug, or is it still nobody's sure yet? Nobody's
sure right now. They're still investigating it, and that's what happens when we've dealt with drug recall cases. Sometimes it will eventually end up in an FDA recall, or the company will say, hey, you know what, this drug is too more, the dangers outweigh the benefits, and they'll pull it back. But that can take years sometimes. So what will probably happen is, as this litigation goes and we start trying some of these cases, and we'll see what the juries think about it, if it was dangerous, if the warnings were there, if they told the public and the doctors about the warnings quick enough, and if those warnings were strong enough, then they may keep this drug on. They may say, you know what, we're going to take it off and go back to Coumadin or one of these other blood thinners. There's other blood thinner alternatives out there besides Pradaxa.
Okay, so let's talk about people watching today. If they're taking the drug Pradaxa, what should they do? Well,
you know, there's no need to panic. There are people that take it and don't have any problems. You know, like anytime someone calls when we have a Pradaxa or hip recall or whatever it is, the first thing I tell them to do is just call your doctor and talk to them about it, and the doctor will look at you as an individual and see if it's right for you or if the risks are not right for you. It's really a decision to be made between you and your physician. So that's the first thing they need to do.
Okay, so call the doc first. When should they call you though?
Well, you know, unfortunately, when someone calls my office, it's really almost too late. That means something tragic has happened. I mean, our office deals with cases where somebody's passed away or had some life-changing injuries, because in this case would be Pradaxa. So if you had someone that was on that drug and they had a stroke or a bleed or something that caused them to die, and you think it may be related to it, then call us. I mean, we have experts that will look at it, you know, because a lot of these people just truly want answers. There's something about having some closure and answers. So that's when they would call our office.
All right, you'll help them through a tough situation. Jim, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, the Higgins firm is serving Tennessee. Give them a call at 615-353-0930 or check out higginsfirm.com.